achievements and agenda and setting the stage for an expected announcement on running for re-election. Among the accomplishments, he says,
my administration has cut the deficit by more than $1.7 trillion. The largest deficit reduction in American history.
ABC News senior White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
This was a speech for the American people. This was not a speech about Washington. He was vintage Biden, joking around, quoting his dad, going back to that refrain constantly of trying to reach out to the American people, blue-collar workers, arguing that he is doing the job that they hired him to do, and that, if he wanted to, trying to certainly seemed like a dress rehearsal for another run.
The Republican response from Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
President Biden is unwilling to defend our border, defend our skies, and defend our people. He is simply unfit to serve as commander-in-chief.
The death toll in Turkey and Syria from Monday's earthquake now tops more than 11,000. Search and rescue operations continue. In Los Angeles, history made last night.
Lakers fans roared as LeBron James claimed an NBA record that was long seen as unbreakable.
LeBron, one-on-one against Kenrick Williams, backing him in, turns, shoots, scores! There it is! All hail the new king in town!
On ESPN 710 LA, after LeBron James broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time NBA scoring record. The two took part in a brief ceremony. Afterwards, James said,
it's just an honor to be just named with the greats. Be in a conversation with the greats that played this game.
It wasn't all great for the Lakers. They lost to the Thunder. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Stella Jean, the only black designer on Italy's fashion council, withdrawing from Milan Fashion Week, citing a lack of commitment to diversity and inclusion. You're listening to ABC News.
Inside a dimly lit room at the LBJ Library in Austin, Texas, a motion sensor triggers a recording, and a voice fills the room.
Suddenly, there was a sharp, loud report. A shot.
It's the voice of Lady Bird Johnson, the wife of Lyndon Johnson.
He wants to get out. There is no way out.
Lady Bird recorded her entire experience in the White House, hours and hours of tape that almost no one has ever heard. And those tapes, they end up rewriting history. This is a story about one of the most influential members of the administration, even if we never knew it.
I wrote out for Lyndon about a 9-page analysis of what I thought his situation was.
From Best Case Studios and ABC Audio, listen to In Plain Sight, Lady Bird Johnson, available now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Ukraine's president is now at 10 Downing Street in London for a meeting with the British Prime Minister. Volodymyr Zelensky also set to address Parliament. ABC's Sophie Burridge in Ukraine says as we approach the one-year anniversary of the Russian invasion.
Ukrainian troops now training in Poland on these advanced German-made tanks, with European nations today pledging an additional 100 tanks of an older model. Ukraine also now awaiting those longer-range U.S. rockets, part of nearly $30 billion in military aid America has committed over the past year.
Due in federal court today, the man accused of carrying out that deadly rampage in a Texas Walmart.
He originally pleaded not guilty to the laundry list of federal charges related to the shooting deaths of 23 people at the El Paso Walmart. But today, lawyers for Patrick Crusius say the 24-year-old will reverse course and plead guilty. The U.S. Attorney's Office has said it would not seek the death penalty, but the Texas Attorney General has offered no such assurances. Crusius may still face capital punishment if he's convicted of the state charges filed in connection with the Walmart massacre. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Another big deal in health care. Pharmacy giant CVS is buying Oak Street Health for about $10.6 billion. Oak Street runs 169 primary centers in 21 states that mainly cater to older Americans using Medicare Advantage Plus plans. This is ABC News.
Disney Hits Podcast. Every week, go inside the stories of your favorite Disney songs with host Leia DeLeon Hayes.
Today, we're sailing to the island of Montanui to dive into the Disney hit song, How Far I'll Go, from Moana.
We'll also hear from the filmmakers, actors, and composers who brought the songs to life.
I remember pitching Bruno, this is a chance for a group number.
Check out the Disney Hits Podcast, the happiest music podcast on earth, wherever you stream podcasts.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about his Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company that'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Get outside today or tomorrow because this weekend is trending wetter and cooler. We have some beautiful mild days ahead. Today, we will head into the upper 60s and lower 70s with a lot of sunshine. Come tonight, we're down into the mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow, we'll see clouds increase, but it's still going to be mild and breezy. Highs will be in the low to mid 70s. We're going to see rain move in Thursday night and stick with us essentially as we head into Sunday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Well, indeed, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's 42 right now, warming up really nicely to around 66 and mostly sunny skies. A light wind, about 8 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 15 miles per hour. But a pretty pleasant day, and back tonight, dropping back to around 50 for the overnight low. Then Thursday, south wind to 13 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 22 miles per hour. So pretty good weather for us the next couple of days. So if you haven't been outside, enjoy it. Get outside and enjoy it. We got a great trail to walk and ride, so try to do that. I have these death announcements, which I'll do right after the Bill O'Reilly morning update. There's one that's quite a few of those, so we'll hold those off until we get through with the Bill O'Reilly morning update. Meanwhile, we have this news story. On Tuesday, Sergeant Joey Brandel and Deputy Inslee with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office was patrolling the area of Ellenboro-Henrietta Road near the Dobbinsville community. While on patrol, deputies conducted a traffic stop on a truck that was displaying a fictitious registration plate. During the course of the traffic stop, deputies requested the assistance of the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office narcotics team and K-9 jumper with the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Once on the scene, K-9 jumper conducted a pre-air sniff of the vehicle and gave a positive alert. A search was then conducted, and during a search, deputies located methamphetamine, fentanyl, and 2 sets of digital scales. As a result, the driver, Cody Ryan Rollins, 25 of Spindale, and passenger Julius Tyrone Miller, 51 of Rutherfordton, were arrested and charged with several offenses: trafficking methamphetamine, trafficking opium or heroin, maintaining a vehicle for controlled substance, possessed drug paraphernalia, driving while license revoked, operating a vehicle with no insurance, and fictitious registration plate. He was given a $225,000 secured bond. Julius Tyrone Miller was charged with trafficking with meth, trafficking opium or heroin, simple possession, Schedule 6 controlled substance, possession drug paraphernalia, and he was given a $200,000 secured bond. More information on that one. Good arrest there, guys. Meanwhile, the McDowell County Sheriff's Office said a man from Shelby has been charged with murder following a shooting Monday night. Deputies said they responded to the Jacktown Road area for a reported shooting. Upon arrival, they found one person dead from a gunshot wound. Deputies later identified the victim as 68-year-old George Williams. The Sheriff's Office said deputies found the suspected shooter, later identified as 45-year-old Jason Travis Adkins, in a wooded area close to the scene. Adkins was charged with murder and is being held without bond. Spencer Baptist Church will be serving as host of Night to Shine 2023, sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation. The unforgettable prom night experience centered on God's love, celebrating people with special needs, will be held in person by host churches around the world simultaneously on Friday, February the 10th. Spencer Church is excited to be a part of this worldwide movement that God is using as a catalyst to change how cultures embrace people with disabilities and to rally the church worldwide to honor the local community of people with special needs, ensuring they know that they are valued and loved. Rutherford County Sheriff's Department is seeking information on the whereabouts of Leanne Marie Craig, a 26-year-old white female from Mooresboro. Ms. Craig is wanted for the following: probation violation, misdemeanor larceny, and failure to appear. If you have any information on the location of Leanne Craig, you can contact the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office at 286-2911 or Crime Stoppers at 828-286-TIPS. Now here's Bill O'Reilly Morning Update.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, if you are a timeshare owner, you're probably upset that your yearly dues continue to increase. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and done in a specific time frame. They're the only company you can trust, having helped more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out. So please call Lone Star Transfer 855-551-7066 or visit LoneStarTransfer.com. On this Wednesday, a series of polls this week say most Americans, including a sizable number of Democrats, do not want President Biden to run for re-election. Now, that should come as little surprise, as Mr. Biden is not really running this country, and voters see that. His advisors tell him what he needs to do, and Jill Biden sees that her husband complies. To be fair, which we always are, you have to admire the message discipline the Biden people put out. There's no problem at the border. Trump, not Biden, is responsible for inflation. Afghanistan, a stunning success, as is the record-breaking federal spending the White House champions. Also, there are very few leaks coming out. Joe and Jill are not being exposed by insiders. You may remember Donald Trump couldn't hire enough plumbers to even slow down the harmful leaks during his administration. The primary problem President Biden and his party has now is a perception of weakness and incompetence. Trump may be bombastic and childish at times, but he is not weak. The USA is not an easy place in which to live these days. There's violence, corruption, and eroding spending power for the folks. Even those who avoid paying attention to their country know things are not good. And the situation will not improve under Joe Biden, who's going downhill faster than Lindsey Vonn. Back after this. No question, there is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits and all kinds of great content. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Bill O'Reilly each morning at the same time, Monday through Friday. It's now 7:13, and I have these death announcements. Richard Scott Burnett, age 68 of Forest City, died Sunday, February the 5th, at his home. The funeral service will be held 2 o'clock Friday, February the 10th, in the Pageant in King Chapel. Burial will follow in the Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The family will receive friends from 12:30 until 1:45 on Friday prior to the service. The Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Richard Scott Burnett. Judy Ann Robinson, 74, of Bostic, died at her residence on February the 6th. A graveside service will be held 3 p.m. Monday, February 13th in the Mount Lebanon Baptist Church Cemetery. The Pageant of King Mortuary is serving the family of Judy Ann Robinson. Wayne Jr. McBee, age 67 of Forest City, passed away Tuesday, February the 7th, at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A private burial will be conducted at Cleveland Memorial Park, and Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services is serving the family of Wayne Jr. McBee. Terry Smith, age 68 of Forest City, passed away Friday, February 3rd, at his residence. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in Providence United Methodist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services serving the family of Terry Smith. David Franklin Martin, age 68, died February the 5th. Services will be held on Thursday, February the 9th at 12:10 at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church in Forest City. Military honors will be provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. A rosary will be held on tonight at 5:30 at Crow's Mortuary Crematory. The family will receive friends following the rosary tonight at 6 o'clock. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of David Franklin Martin. Jessica Suzanne Huey passed away on February the 4th. A memorial service will be held at 2 p.m. Tuesday, February the 7th at Crow's Funeral Chapel. Crow's Funeral Home, serving the family of Jessica Suzanne Huey. J.P. Jr. Bailey, age 92, of Rutherford, passed away Sunday, February the 5th. Due to the prediction of inclement weather, a committal service will be conducted at 11 o'clock Thursday, February the 9th, in the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Military honors will be conducted by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Burial will follow at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. The family will receive friends from 6 until 8 o'clock tonight at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services, serving the family of J.P. Jr. Bailey. James Billy Bradley, age 71, of Forest City, passed away Saturday, February the 4th at the Charles George VA Medical Center. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Saturday, February the 18th at Spindale Fellowship Holiness Church. Burial will follow at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. Military honors will be provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service, serving the family of James Billy Bradley. Elizabeth A. Shelley, age 86, of Tryon, died Friday, February the 3rd at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A memorial service to celebrate her life will be held at a later date, and the Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of those arrangements for Elizabeth A. Shelley. William Bill Davis, age 84, of Forest City, died Thursday, January 26, in Richmond, Virginia. A memorial service will be held at 2 o'clock on Saturday, February the 11th, in the First United Methodist Church. Visitation will follow in the church fellowship hall. Burial will be private for the immediate family. The Pageant and King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for William Bill Davis. Harley Brendan Upton, age 22, of Rutherfordton, passed away Wednesday, January 25th. A graveside service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Saturday, February the 11th at Cooper's Gap Baptist Church Cemetery, with Reverend Don Hollifield officiating. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Harley Brendan Upton. Terry Smith, age 69, of Forest City, passed away Friday, February 3rd. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in the Providence United Methodist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services, serving the family of Terry Smith. Nellie T. Condry, age 89, of Ellenboro, died Saturday, February the 4th. The funeral service will be held 2 o'clock today at Corinth Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the Bostic Cemetery. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 prior to the service in the sanctuary. The Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Nellie T. Condry. Stephen Orr, age 38, of Rutherfordton, passed away Saturday, February the 4th. A memorial service to celebrate Stephen's life will be held at 11 o'clock Saturday, February the 11th at Adelsville Baptist Church. The family will receive friends following the service at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services is serving the family of Stephen Orr. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For complete information on these and others, as they become available to us, you can hear the complete information on these this morning at 11:30, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon Call Around the County newscast. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, we'll go into the phones, make our calls around the county right after this.
At
At the age of 21, John Salmon Ford moved to Texas. After a stint in the Texas Army, he practiced medicine for about 6 years. He then served in the Texas legislature. When the Mexican War broke out, John became a regimental adjutant. It was at this time that he got the nickname Rip. Each time he would send out an official death notice, the notice was labeled RIP for Rest in Peace. In 1849, Rip Ford joined the Texas Rangers, where he became a major. In 1859, Rip and his Rangers engaged in regular skirmishes with a Mexican guerrilla named Cortina. Cortina would make raids into Texas and then run back to Mexico. The Texas Rangers had a steamboat named Ranchero. On February 9, 1859, Rip and his men were on the Ranchero when Cortina's men fired a shot from the Mexican side and put a hole through the flag the Ranchero was flying. This was just too much for Rip. He ordered the steamboat to head for the Mexican side. Beached like a landing craft, 45 men disembarked. The small force of Texas Rangers encountered about 300 heavily armed men. But these men were no match for the Texas Rangers. Cortina was able to escape, but he no longer crossed the border into Texas. Concerned about an international incident, the U.S. Secretary of War sent an emissary to talk to Rip about not crossing into Mexico again. The emissary was the new commander of the Department of Texas, a Colonel Robert E. Lee. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James Railroad Express has moved to a new location, 126 Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton, and they've changed their name, Jesse James Chowhound Canteen. A new name, a new place, and a limited menu. Currently, you can get smoked sausages, kielbasa's, and of course those delicious hot dogs. And you can get coleslaw, macaroni and cheese, and potato salad. Stay tuned for their new menu at their new place. Hours are Tuesday through Saturdays from 11 until 2, closed Sundays and Mondays. Jesse James Chowhound Canteen, 126 Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton. Call 286-9368 and get a 99-cent hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, Tuesdays only.
All right, time to go to the phones now to find out what's been going on in the past 24 hours or so around the county. And Officer King is with us from the Sheriff's Department. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing today, Jim?
I'm looking forward to this beautiful, warm day today. It's going to feel like springtime out there.
Nice to have some sunshine for a change.
Almost make you want to go fishing.
Yes, sir.
What's on the report today?
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Department responded to 194 calls for service. There were 13 arrests processed in the jail, and the jail currently has 166 people incarcerated. Just one incident report today. Brenda Mann from Bedford Creek Road in Ellenboro reported a breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and damage to property. That's all for the incident reports. On our arrest reports, Kenneth Hawthorne from Roy Goins Road in Rutherfordton was served a warrant for failure to report change of address, received a $15,000 secured bond. Julius Miller from Maple Creek Road in Rutherfordton was arrested and charged with trafficking methamphetamine, trafficking opium or heroin, and simple possession of a Schedule 6 controlled substance, received a $200,000 secured bond. Cody Rollins from Pebblestone Lane in Rutherfordton was arrested and charged with trafficking in methamphetamine, trafficking opium or heroin, maintaining a vehicle or dwelling place for a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Received a $225,000 secured bond. Sebastian Rodriguez from Branch Street in Morrisboro was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor. Received a $2,500 secured bond. Angelica Root from Lancaster Drive in Forest City was served with a failure to appear and a show cause order. Received a $500 unsecured bond. Michael Bowen from Granite Drive in Ellenboro was served with a warrant for second-degree trespass and failure to appear on misdemeanor. Received a $500 secured bond. Tyler Cooper from Collette Street in Rutherfordton was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor. Received a $500 secured bond. Carol Cooks from West Street in Spindale was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. William Boykins from Gypsy Street in Forest City was served with a child support warrant, received a $1,500 cash bond. Humberto Cruz from Greenwood Street in Forest City was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Jacob Benoit from Autumn Lane in Spindale was served with a criminal summons for breaking and entering and simple assault, received a written promise to appear. Darian Brown from MacArthur Street in Forest City was served with a warrant for assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, discharge firearm in city limits, and discharge weapon into occupied property, and also possession of firearm by felon. Received $170,000 secured bond. David Luckadoo from Dillashaw Drive in Forest City was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Delana Franklin from Hardin Road in Forest City was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Carla McCullum from McIntyre Road in Rutherford was served with a criminal summons for second-degree trespass and injury to real property. And a Cecil Henson from Duncan Road in Rutherford was served with a true bill indictment, received a written promise to appear in court. And that's all we have for today.
Officer King, I appreciate you being with us. Thanks for that, and you be safe out there today.
Thank you, Jim. Have a good one.
See you. Bye-bye.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
And let's say good morning to Melissa. She's got the report for us from the Communication Center. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
What's on the report?
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County 911 Communications has processed a total of 430 911 and administrative calls. These consisted of 76 for emergency medical services, 194 for the Sheriff's Office, 62 for Forest City, 47 for Rutherfordton, 11 for Lake Lure, and 26 for Spindale. Under fire calls, the Lake Lure Fire Department responded to a motor vehicle accident. Rutherfordton Fire Department responded to a water leak. Sandy Mush to a structure fire. They were assisted by SDO Cliffside and Ellenboro. Sandy Mush responded also to a brush fire. SDO responded to a motor vehicle accident. Shingle Hollow responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Union Mills responded to 2 brush fires. And that's all.
That's a lot of calls. Thank you for that report, and you have a good day over there.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You got a lot of calls in 24 period of time, don't they? 28 minutes after 7. Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171 and they'll be right there. The SDO Fire District report is next, and Ruby Taylor's on the phone to give us that news. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
They had 2 calls. They assisted Sandy Mush on a structure fire, and they had a vehicle accident. And Hugh Cole has a birthday, and hope he has a nice day. And the signs are in the bows today and going to the rains tomorrow. Jim, that's all I got.
Thanks, Ruby. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
All right, let's check on Chris Melton up at Lake Lure, Chimney Rock, and Bills Creek area and see what's been happening over the past 24 hours. Chris, how you doing this morning?
Good, Jim. How are you?
Doing good. You ready for this beautiful day?
I sure am. Yesterday was just as good as well.
It was, yeah.
Hopefully it can repeat itself.
I like them. I like them when they get several of them in a row.
Oh, yeah. So Lake Lure responded to a medical call. So did Bills Creek respond to a different medical call. And then Chimney Rock and Lake Lure responded to a rescue out in the lake bed. The lake is down and they're doing some repairs on the dam. So someone decided to walk out in the lake bed and get stuck.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I just wanted to put a public safety announcement out just to let people know that it's not a good idea to walk in that area because it kind of works like quicksand and you sink up pretty quick. So we usually have that happen several times when this lake goes down.
We're glad they could get to him in time.
Absolutely, yeah. And somebody saw them.
Yeah.
They was kind of out on their own.
My.
So other than that, it's a great day and roads are open and no issues on this end.
Good. Chris, thank you so very much. I appreciate you being with us, and have a great day and be safe up there.
Y'all have a good day as well.
See you now. That's Chris Melton reporting. He's the chief up at Chimney Rock. He's also a volunteer with Lake Lure, and he's looking after things for us at Bills Creek as well. And we'll get to our next phone call. That'll be right after this.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Let's check on Bostic now. DeVern Upton's there to give us a report. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Ready for this beautiful day today.
Well, I tell you, I'm ready for it as well. I'd like to see a bunch of these in a row.
Absolutely. Temperature over here is 43 degrees. Fire department had no calls. Food boxes will be given out at Chase Ministry there in the Chase community from 9 to 10:30. Don't forget to go by Whistle Stop Bakery here on Main Street in Bostic and put your order in for Valentine's. And also, Bostic Forest is right beside of it, and go put your order in there for Valentine. And hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thanks, DeVern. You have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Let's check it out with Robbie Samuel. He's over in Rutherfordton at the fire department over there. Robbie, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How about you, Jim?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, good.
You ready to go at them today, are you?
Oh yeah, yeah. The sun's starting to come up. It's looking good outside. So we're ready to make and see what happens today. But with the fire department, Hudlo was busy through the night. They had a medical call and then they had a fly out. And Ralston, we had a water leak in an apartment. So other than that, that's about all we did through the night, which was enough. And just wanting to remind everybody about the country and country ham and chicken pie supper this Saturday at the Mount Vernon Community Clubhouse. It's going to be a drive-through only. Starts at 4:30. It'll be $12 a plate. They'll have green beans, grits, slaw, applesauce, biscuits, and dessert. So come out and support the community and the clubhouse and see what the good things the folks do that's over that fundraiser. Other than that, Jim, that's all I got this morning.
All right, Robbie, I hope you have a good day and be safe.
All right, you do as well, Jim. Take care.
All right, bye-bye. Don't forget, the first drawing for the Valentine Be My Baby is going to take place a little after 8 o'clock this morning. First prize of the week of Valentine Week will take place in just a little while. If you've not gotten your card into us, be sure you do that. You can bring it to us, 191 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton, or mail it to us at Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
Cherry Mountain is our next stop. Cherry Mountain Fire District, and Sue Price reports to us from over there. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim. It's a beautiful morning.
It's a good morning to rise and shine, isn't it?
It is. Looks like we're going to have a really nice day again. I'm enjoying these pretty days. Everybody better get out and enjoy them because they're going to come to an end. We got to have some more winter. It's not over with.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
I know. Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. Don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got an anniversary for Ed and Hester Gurley. And, of course, they are on Fairview's calendar, so they'll have a good day today. We celebrated with them on Sunday night up at the church. This is their 59th, so congratulations.
Congratulations.
We hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day, and they got a beautiful day to enjoy it. And I hope you'll have a good day today, Jim, and talk to you later.
Thanks, Sue. Happy to see you now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
7:38, and our temperature reading right now is 42 degrees.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Last night, Tuesday on the 7th of the night, Wake Forest beat Tar Heels 92-65. Tar Heels not doing too good here lately, but maybe they'll pick it up when they play Clemson on Saturday. Next game we have for them is Saturday, 12:30 airtime, 1 o'clock pregame, 2 o'clock tip-off. UNC and Clemson, they lost to Wake Forest, of all people, last night. Right here's Tina White reporting from Shingle Hollow. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, good morning. It is a beautiful morning up here in Shingle Hollow again. What a pretty day we had yesterday, too.
Mm-hmm.
It is 43 degrees up here this morning and clear. Beautiful sunrise. I love to just watch the sunrise. It's so pretty. The fire department had one call early this morning for a motor vehicle accident. I got that cleared up. And on our birthday calendar, there's none on the church calendars, but my daughter, who is in 5th grade over at Pinnacle, said, Mama, please call Sophie's birthday out today, but she couldn't remember her last name. So Miss Sophia is her name, and I hope she has a wonderful birthday. And then on my personal calendar, I have an anniversary for my great uncle and great aunt, Ed and Hester Gurley. I think Sue called them out too. I hope they have a wonderful anniversary today and celebrate big, because they've been together a long time, as far as I know. I don't know how many years. We're getting close. 2 more evenings, and on the 10th, Friday the 10th, will be the Family Valentine's dance at Pinnacle Elementary. It starts at 4 and it's 6:30. Excuse me, I got my times mixed up with, I do. It's from 5 to 7, excuse me. And then on the 16th, Trinity Christian School is having their kindergarten roundup, and that one is from 4 to 6:30. And that's on a Thursday evening. They're going to have bouncy houses and popcorn and cotton candy. They're going to talk about their Christian curriculum and also help with tuition. So if you have a rising kindergartner and you're just interested to know what goes on over at Trinity Christian School, go on out for that on the 16th.
It's a good school.
And it is a good school. And we, I think I thought today, I wrote down about Mount Vernon's chicken pie to make a note for myself to remember to go on out there on Saturday. And so up here in Shingle Hollow, we're just going to stay calm and cool today.
Do that and enjoy the day, and I will see you back here tomorrow.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's the store folks in Western North Carolina depend on. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. It's like a superstore. Deer corn, $11.05 for 50 pounds. Cob corn, $10. They have plenty of deer plant supplies. Check on the lower prices on propane, $12.99 for a 20-pound tank. Mulch, gravel, rocks, and supplies for beautiful landscaping. That's available at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply at lower prices. Open Monday through Saturday. If you want a feed and seed store that carries so much more, including new and used farm equipment, then come on over to Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton.
Union Mills, our next stop, Brenda Kelly, is there with a report. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you on this wonderful Wednesday morning?
Wonderful Hump Day Wednesday morning. It is one of those days.
It was better than Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
Well, what happened to the boys?
I don't know. Listen, I was so disappointed. I don't know when they've been that far behind. Yeah. And I thought, I watched a little bit of the second half, and I said, I'm going to bed. I'm not watching you lose this. But they're still my team if they never win another one.
Yeah, well, you had your choice, watching the Tar Heels play so badly or watching Joe Biden's State of the Union address.
Well, I watched Tar Heels. The State of the Union address, I don't care who it was, it's never interested me because it's politics is just, I don't know. It don't make no sense to me. They promise you this, but they do something else, and they'll tell you this, and it's actually something else. You know, it's I don't know. Politics is something.
There's a lot of that.
I said years ago, 20-something years ago, Jim, if you'd run for president, you might straighten this place out, and you never would.
I appreciate the compliment, but.
And you said, will you run as vice president? And I said, no, but I'll campaign for you.
Takes a lot of money to do that. Will you raise some money for me?
I'd try to raise some money. We could have a benefit. We'd get in his glory to sing. Oh, man. We have to laugh about
we
something.
We do. We got to laugh.
And I appreciated that song you started out with this morning, Satisfied. I know you started out singing on that, but I heard Michael Henderson come in out there.
Oh, yeah. He hits that high note on that one.
Yeah, that was a good song. I was in here just patting my feet.
Good. We'd like to get your day started happy.
Yeah. Even though the Tar Heels lost, that's all right. There'll be another time. And if they don't do good this year, there's always next year.
Can they beat Clemson Saturday night?
I don't know. Clemson's pretty good, ain't they? Ain't they ranked number one?
They're pretty good right now. They sure are.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I've got 36 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries. But in ways of announcement, we got a benefit breakfast for Neighbors Pantry Saturday the 11th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Adults is $8. Kids 6 to 12 is $4. 5 and under is free, and this is at the Gilkey School Community Center. And so far, that's all I got going on. So I guess you better go to Ellenborough and check on Luther Sweet Thing.
I'll do it, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Right, bye-bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
We're heading over to Ellenborough now to get a report from our Ellenborough reporter, Luther Gilligan. He's there with us this morning to give us all the news. Luther, good morning.
Good morning, you two. It's nice day down here.
I'm glad you're up and at 'em.
Hey, we're up and getting it. Having a good time down here. But it's quiet. It's more just going. Everybody just trying to get their biscuits and bid on in work, get this middle of the week done. Go be downhill. But the fire department there only had one medical call about 6 o'clock last night. Other than that, they quiet the rest of the day last night. So things going good. So you have a great day down up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. I'll see you then. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep.
Time now for birthdays and anniversaries. If you'd like to celebrate with you, call us now. Tracy's out there taking the phone calls, and she'll take yours at 287-3356, 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up in just a moment after we take you over by Granny B's for maybe lunch today. Maybe a sub sandwich to take to work with you. Or maybe there we go. Birthday jumping out of time and where Granny B's located. And we'll see how many birthdays we got. Even though the singer jumped in ahead of me, there's no birthdays to record this morning to report in. I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Jada Luckadoo. She goes to the Lake Lure Classical Academy there in Lake Lure. She turned 16 today, sweet 16. Jada Luckadoo, have a great birthday.
In the murder trial of South Carolina lawyer Alec Murdaugh, accused of shooting and killing his wife and son. Jurors heard evidence on Tuesday about gunshot residue found inside a jacket found at Murdaugh's mother's house weeks after the shooting. 4 flight attendants had to be taken to a San Diego hospital after an external battery pack caught fire on board a plane minutes after takeoff. The attendants got into a fireproof bag, and the plane was able to land safely. New warnings about a new study. Don't believe everything you hear about baby formula. Here's ABC's Derek Dennis.
It's an age-old question, baby formula or breast milk. A new analysis published in the medical journal The Lancet says many baby formula manufacturers are using marketing tactics to steer moms away from breastfeeding to boost profits. ABC News chief medical correspondent Dr. Jennifer Ashton says breast milk should be option number 1.
I think if you look at the science, it is crystal clear that breast milk is the ideal form of nutrition for a newborn.
The report says claims that formula helps babies sleep better, cry less, or develop more is misleading. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
And it may be the biggest sale ever in the music industry. Michael Jackson's estate reportedly close to selling its interest in his music catalog. Variety says the deal, apparently with Sony, could be worth between $800 and $900 million. This is ABC News.
What if I told you in Iran, women are banned from going to soccer games?
Mom, take the ball. I love you.
For 43 years, Iranian women have fought back. Police pushed us. Troops. This is their story.
The joy was for night. We're down into the mid to upper 40s, and then tomorrow our temperatures are going to head into the low to mid 70s. It's certainly going to feel like spring with breezy conditions around. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
So I guess a nice couple of days coming up with the sun shining brightly and the warm temperatures. Right now we're at 42. I'm wondering with the warm temperature to look at if Wayne's got any ice cream out there at Wayne's Lunchbox. Wayne, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hope you're feeling well.
Yeah, we're doing good. Just getting everything going this morning. A lot of things going on. I do not have any ice cream at the moment. That's one thing. We did a little cleaning the other day, and we broke down the ice cream freezer there. So we're getting it all cleaned up and ready to go. Hopefully we'll be getting some ice cream in the next couple of days, because a lot of times we have cobbler, and, you know, I tell everybody this, ice cream goes good with about anything.
Yes.
So when we have those cobblers, especially last night, we had a couple of people that actually wanted some vanilla ice cream with the blackberry cobbler, which is always, any cobbler I think is good with vanilla ice cream. But even with your favorite today, banana pudding, I tell people all the time, if you've never had banana pudding with a scoop of ice cream, you must try it. So give us a couple of weeks, let it get through probably February and March, and we'll probably crank the ice cream back up around April or so. So
right.
It'll be coming, but we're going to have some banana pudding today. Done chopped up a bunch of bananas this morning, getting everything ready to go. Of course, today's Wednesday. We'll have chicken pie this afternoon as well. So there's your meal already. You know what you're eating for dinner tonight, Jim. So chicken pie tonight.
It has almost become a habit, Wayne.
Well, that's, the chicken pie is one of those things that definitely is addictive. It's just a good old-fashioned chicken pie. There's not a lot to it, but the flavor's always good. We use a good white meat chicken on it and cook that thing up, and it's just hard to beat. It don't have any vegetables or anything in it, so it's just a regular old-fashioned chicken pie. But you throw in some pinto beans and some turnip greens that's cooked good, and just a few other things, and you got yourself a good meal. And one thing we're going to do tonight too is we're going to run some country ham. I thought about that over the last couple of days. Of course, we did some breakfasts, and I thought, somebody might want a piece of country ham at night with some pintos and again, turnip greens and stuff like that. We'll always have cornbread. So we got some nice center cut pieces of country ham that we're going to run tonight as well. So if you want some country ham tonight with some good old vegetables, come on by and we'll get that started up around 3 o'clock this afternoon. But today during lunchtime, you can always come by. And we've had a lot of people ask us, Jim, about if they can get plates during lunch. And we do offer some of the plates. We just don't have the vegetables like we do in the evening time. Now, you can always get, a hamburger steak plate. Our fried flounder, we have so many people that get a fried flounder sandwich. But you can get a plate too during lunchtime. And of course, we've always got ham. We've got the chicken tenders. You can get those either calabash or grilled. Now you're limited to your availability of vegetables, but we always have coleslaw. We always have potato salad. And then of course we've got French fries and tater tots. So you can always make you a plate during lunch. We just don't have all the vegetables, green potatoes and stuff like that. But we do have several options there that you can get a plate. And then of course today's Wednesday. We've got our cheeseburger sub, which is just an outstanding sandwich. I mean, you take a hamburger patty, we chop it up on the grill, and you can add whatever you want to. Your options there are, up to your imagination of what you want on a sub with a cheeseburger on it. So you can add bacon, you can add mushrooms, jalapenos, you can change up your cheese on it. And then of course you've got the mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, chili, slaw, onions, pickles, lettuce, tomato. I mean, you can make this sandwich, and I tell everybody, if you've never had a cheeseburger sub, it's definitely one to try because it's a really good sandwich. And then, of course, you can throw in some tater tots or French fries there, and you've got a really good lunch. So if you've never tried the cheeseburger sub, I definitely recommend it because I just think it's a really neat sandwich, and again, you can make it however you want to make it. So the limit to that is just to your imagination of what you want it to taste like. So whatever you want, we can get it done on that sandwich for sure. And of course, we have some other things. We've got some carrot cake today that we're going to have. Just a lot of good things. So come by at lunch, 11 to 2, and then we close down for an hour and open back up at 3 to 7, doing the dinner menu. So Monday through Thursday, and then, of course, the catering and all that we do on the weekends and throughout the week. You always give us a call about that, no matter how many people it may be, or how big. So we got a lot of weddings already booked for this year and just a lot of other caterings going on. So everything's going good right now in Spindale.
I noticed when I was over there the other night, your sides, that you all have a wide variety of sides to go with any meal that you get. And I thought that was really, really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we was over at the cafeteria, we sort of got spoiled because, Lord, we probably had 14, 15 different not cold salads, but just different things that you could get because we had the bigger space over there. And, for us to have such a little spot that we have, we still try to run somewhere between 8 and 10. Every day we're going to have my, cream potatoes. We're going to have the corn. We're going to have green beans. We're either going to have cabbage or turnip greens. We're always going to have fried okra. We're always going to have sweet potato casserole. And then, of course, the coleslaw and potato salad. Mm-hmm. And, then we try to run something a little different every once in a while. I'll throw broccoli casserole or macaroni and cheese or, stewed tomatoes, okra and tomatoes. Something. We try to put something in there every so often. Like last night we ran cinnamon apples because I think that's a good thing that goes with pork chops. And a lot of people even, I can tell when we run cinnamon apples, the sweet potato casserole is not as popular because they use that for their sweetness. Yeah. But I mean, the cinnamon apples, again, you can't hardly beat them, especially during the wintertime. I mean, it's just a good item, especially when you've got some type of pork to go with it. Cinnamon apples, something like that's always good. And of course, again, if you got those, you can always throw your little ice cream on them and make them taste good. So, and we just try to I try to match up things that I think will go well, like with chicken pie and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a good thing to have different ones like that so you can switch it up some. And it gives everybody a variety. You can come there and eat. There's no telling the possibilities that you could have and never eat the same ones for probably several weeks because you got that, availability. Yeah. So that keeps people, they can try something different that they've never had and stuff like that. So it's a good thing. Seeing a lot of new faces and stuff about every day. It's just, good. It's so crazy. We've been here almost 4 years now, and ever so often, at least once or twice a week, we'll have somebody come in the evening time, and they're like, man, we've never eaten here before. What's good? And I'm like, okay, where have you been? I've been here for 4 years. Yeah, really. But I think the dinner time has pulled that crowd out because a lot of people's never been able to eat with me when I was open for the first few years there, just doing lunch. Right. So right. Word's still getting out. that we're open for nighttime. A lot of people still don't even know that. So I tell everybody to pass it along, because everybody don't have, Facebook and this kind of stuff. So I tell everybody, just tell your neighbors. And, of course, talking with you guys on the radio has really helped a lot too. So a lot of people listen to you guys, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're happy to be a part of that, and we want to encourage folks to go by, because we know how good the food is, Wayne. And Wayne's Lunchbox right there in Spindale, you can't miss it. And you'll find some of the greatest staff people working with Wayne you'll ever want to have serving you. So you got a good,
I definitely
good team
do
there.
have a good crew, that's for sure.
Well, have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll check with you again next time.
All right, sounds good, Jim. Have a good week.
See you, Wayne.
All right, bye-bye.
Wayne Rollins there at Wayne's Lunchbox, doing a great job. We got a drawing coming up here in just a couple of minutes. First prize of the Be My Baby Valentine promotion, and that is coming up.
You made a list, checked it twice, and now it's time to shop. Get a great deal for everyone on your list at Carolina West Wireless. Enjoy a sleigh full of savings for the whole family with unlimited data for just $25 per month per line for 4 lines with autopay. Plus, get up to $1,000 in savings when you bring your own devices. How's that for a stocking stuffer? Get everything you need for everyone on your list, all for a great deal, only from Carolina West Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit www.carolinawest.com/terms and conditions. Offer expires January 9th, 2023.
Here's how this drawing takes place. All the cards that have been sent to us or brought to us, we put them together, and Tracy shakes them up and draws out a card this morning. And those who win the preliminary prizes will go back in the opportunity to win the grand prize. So, because we have several daily prizes that are really great, you're going to love all of them, I believe. And we're going to give the first one coming up here in just a few moments and tell you what that prize is. And folks, I think you're going to get acquainted with and love, and I know I do. And we'll have that drawing right after this.
Too much of a good thing isn't always a good thing, like too many sprays of cologne, too many loops in a roller coaster, or too many rescue cats. But you can never have too many chances to win. That's why new Multiply the Cash scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have more chances to win than ever before. With chances to multiply your win on the front and back, too much is just right. Easy, kitty. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.24 to 4.83. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
Don't just say I love you, show I love you by shopping at Simply Divine Gift Shop. Beautiful merchandise that says I love you over and over again. From bracelets and charms, gold or silver necklaces, handbags, footwear, or you can get that gorgeous home decor piece she's been looking for. Simply Divine Gift Shop has been voted best in specialty gifts and trinkets. They're located inside Hardin's Drug on Church Street in Forest City, open Monday through Friday 9 to 9, Saturdays 9 to 7, and Sundays 1 to 6.
All right, let's see. We have a card here. Tracy's pulled these cards out already this morning. It's Valentine card, Jesus Calling, hearts all over it. And verse of Scripture, nothing will ever be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. That's very appropriate for Love Week. Reminding you, you're perfectly loved. Happy Valentine's Day. And this is Betty and Charles Wilson. And they like the song I Love How You Love by Bobby Vinton. I love how you love me. I like that song too. And we'll do our best to get that played during this Love Week. Betty and Charles Wilson. And they have just won a fourth of a pound of fudge, compliments of Sunny Days. Now, Sunny Days there in Rutherfordton. They do glass art. They do fudge, hippie boutique, woodwork, pottery, jewelry, and much more. You're going to be really impressed with the store when you go in there. And so you have won this. Come by here to pick up the certificate, and we'll take that. You'll take that in, and they'll give you that fudge. They do homemade fudge right there in the store. They do glass blowing. They glass blowing a lot of beautiful pottery and jewelry, and all. You just have to see it to understand and believe it. So Betty and Charles Wilson won this prize. Now they'll go back in and be eligible for the grand prize, which we'll do next Tuesday on the 14th. And we'll have another couple of drawings throughout today, and again tomorrow morning. So get your card to us.
You already know Tri-City Tire Service is your complete and professional auto service, offering services in brakes, alignments, tune-ups, oil changes, inspections, lift kits, and of course a complete tire service. But did you know they also have tires for commercial, farm tractors, ATVs, and they also carry mowers, power equipment by Red Max. Tri-City Tire Service is located at 221 Daniel Road in Forest City. Give them a call at 828-287-8778. Tri-City Tire Service, your local tire and auto service center.
If you need a legal consultation regarding wills, real estate, closings, Medicaid planning, or just legal representation. Contact attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin at the Arledge Law Firm on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. They offer years of experience and expertise. Arledge Law Firm is your local professional law firm that really cares about their clients, and it shows. Whatever the situation you're facing, call 828-287-3338. Let the professional team go to work for you.
You need an insurance agent you can talk to? Call Insurance Service Associates at 828-245-5301. We want to help you get the best out of your insurance dollar. As a trusted choice independent agent, we shop your coverage with several companies to give you the best value. More companies, better choices, best rate. Come see us at our new office at 245 East Main Street in Forest City, or call us at 828-245-5301.
We'll have a couple of more drawings throughout today. One mid-morning and maybe one this afternoon, and we'll do some more tomorrow. And they'll add up over the week, and before you know it, it'll be Valentine's Day. And we're going to love you all week long. Play your favorite love songs and just have a big time. So get your card to us at Post Office Box 511 Rutherfordton, or bring it to us at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton. Now here is Officer King. He gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department this morning. Here it is.
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Department responded to 194 calls for service. There were 13 arrests processed in the jail, and the jail currently has 166 people incarcerated. Just one incident report today. Brenda Mann from Bedford Creek Road in Ellenboro reported a breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and damage to property. That's all for the incident reports. On our arrest reports, Kenneth Hawthorne from Roy Goins Road in Rutherfordton was served with a warrant for failure to report change of address, received a $15,000 secured bond. Julius Miller from Maple Creek Road in Rutherfordton was arrested and charged with trafficking methamphetamine, trafficking opium or heroin, and simple possession of a Schedule 6 controlled substance, received a $200,000 secured bond. Cody Rollins from Pebblestone Lane in Rutherfordton was arrested and charged with trafficking in methamphetamine, trafficking opium or heroin, maintaining a vehicle or dwelling place for a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Received a $225,000 secured bond. Sebastian Rodriguez from Branch Street in Morrisboro was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor. Received a $2,500 secured bond. Angelica Root from Lancaster Drive in Forest City was served with a failure to appear and a show cause order, received a $500 unsecured bond. Michael Bowen from Granite Drive in Ellenboro was served with a warrant for second-degree trespass and failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Tyler Cooper from Collette Street in Rutherfordton was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Carol Cooks from West Street in Spindale was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. William Boykins from Gypsy Street in Forest City was served with a child support warrant, received a $1,500 cash bond. Humberto Cruz from Greenwood Street in Forest City was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Jacob Benoit from Autumn Lane in Spindale was served with a criminal summons for breaking and entering and simple assault, received a written promise to appear. Darian Brown from MacArthur Street in Forest City was served with a warrant for assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, discharge firearm in city limits, and discharge weapon into occupied property, and also possession of firearm by felon. Received $170,000 secured bond. David Luckadoo from Dillashaw Drive in Forest City was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Delana Franklin from Hardin Road in Forest City was served with a failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 secured bond. Carla McCullum from McIntyre Road in Rutherfordton was served with a criminal summons for second-degree trespass and injury to real property. And a Cecil Henson from Duncan Road in Rutherfordton was served with a true bill indictment received a written promise to appear in court. And that's all we have for today.
Thank you, Officer King, for that report. They also are reporting seeking information on the whereabouts of Leanne Marie Craig, a 26-year-old white female from Mooresboro. Ms. Craig is wanted for the following: probation violation, misdemeanor larceny, failure to appear. If you have any information on the location of Leanne Craig, you can contact the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office at 828-286-2911 or Crime Stoppers at 828-286-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous when you call Crime Stoppers in that respect. So do that if you know something about it. And Sergeant George Randall, Deputy Inslee with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, was patrolling the area of Ellenboro Henrietta Road near Dobbinsville. And while on patrol, deputies conducted a traffic stop on a truck that was displaying a fictitious registration plate. And during the course of the traffic stop, deputies requested the assistance of Rutherford County Sheriff's Office narcotics team and K-9 jumper with the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Once on the scene, K-9 jumper conducted a free air sniff of the vehicle and gave a positive alert. A search was then conducted, and during the search, deputies located methamphetamine, fentanyl, and 2 sets of digital scales. As a result, Cody Ryan Collins, Rollins, 25, of Spindale, and Pastor Julius Tyrone Miller, 51, of Rutherford, were arrested and charged. Let's get back together with us tomorrow morning, will you? Let's make a date for in the morning.
NCN Sports, I'm Nate Saunders. The basketball world has a new all-time scoring king.
Westbrook looking for James. He's got it. Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
The call on TNT as LeBron James hits a jumper, giving him his 38,388th career point late in the third quarter against the Oklahoma City Thunder. James said he never dreamed of becoming the all-time scoring leader until just recently.
I never, ever talked about being an all-time scorer in NBA history. It's never even been a thought of mine until I guess I start seeing my numbers get closer and closer.
Clemson and Pittsburgh in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Tyree Appleby scored a season-high 35 points with 23 coming at the free throw line, and Wake Forest built a big lead early and then held on for a 92-85 victory over North Carolina. Appleby tied his career best of 11 assists. There were only 6 of 20 from the floor. He made a career best 23 of 28 free throws, including 13 straight in the final 2 minutes, when the Tar Heels got as close as 7 after trailing by 26 early in the second half. I'm Nate Saunders. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Join PBS North Carolina as we explore the world around us through stories that illuminate and moments that inspire. From PBS favorites like Masterpiece to local programs that celebrate our state and people. From educational resources for kids to emergency briefings that keep us secure, PBS North Carolina offers endless possibilities for discovery and wonder. Follow your curiosity at pbsnc.org.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Kyle Busch was detained at a Mexican airport late last month when a handgun and ammunition were discovered in his luggage. The NASCAR star acknowledged that this week. Busch was sentenced this month to 3.5 years in prison in order to pay a $1,000 fine for having a gun and ammunition, a punishment handed down by a Mexican judge. The federal attorney general's office said the judge decided to allow a conditional punishment and let Busch leave Mexico after he paid a bond. The office did not say how much he paid. A two-time NASCAR champion and the winningest active driver in the Cup Series, Busch acknowledged the situation and said he made a mistake by forgetting it was in his bag. Tonight in the NBA, Charlotte visits Washington at 7, and in college basketball, UNCW will play College of Charleston also at 7. I'm Nate Saunders, NCN Sports.
Above normal warmth will persist for today. So much so, by the time we head into tomorrow and our warming trend continues, we could shatter record highs or get really close to it in some spots. We're talking about today's sunshine with highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Come tonight, we're down into the mid to upper 40s. And then tomorrow, our temperatures are going to head into the low to mid 70s. It's certainly going to feel like spring with breezy conditions around. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Right now we're recording 41 degrees on our thermometer. We get down to Saturday, mostly sunny with highs near 50, with wind about 11 miles per hour, with gusts up as high as 18 miles per hour on Saturday. Then on Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 51, with wind gusts as high as 13. So that warm temperature won't be so bad with that wind blowing. Right now, again, it's 41 degrees. And it's time for Word of Faith Fellowship radio program. And with the program today is Rich, Lorraine, John Mark, and Elizabeth Dolan.
Good morning. Welcome to Word of Faith radio program. My name is Rich Dolan, and this is my family, my daughter Elizabeth, my wife Lorraine, and my son John Mark. And God has put it on our heart to share about the goodness of God. He's been so faithful to us at every point in our lives. We just wanted to share with everybody, and so they can have that same experience in their life by trusting and believing in God. Let's turn to Philippians 4:19 first. And it says, "And my God will liberally supply, fill to the full, your every need according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus." And we can trust in God. And then there's Matthew 6:32, and it says, "For the Gentiles, the heathen, wish for and crave and diligently seek all these things, and your heavenly Father knows well that you need them all. But seek at, aim, and strive after first all his kingdom and his righteousness, his way of doing and being right. Then all these things taken together will be given to you besides. So don't worry or be anxious about tomorrow." You know, one of the things that we were really believing for several years ago was to buy a house. And we were renting at the time, and a friend of mine called us and said there was a house available, but they thought it was really for a friend of mine, and they wanted me to call him. And when they told me about it, I was like, oh, I think that's my house. And I didn't say anything then, because I was really holding on for my friends to get a house too. So I called them, and they went and looked at it, and several weeks went by, and they weren't interested. So I called them back, the people that were selling the house, and told them we'd like to look at it. And we went over and looked at it, and we really felt like it was our house. And it was an older house, had the knotty pine in it, and had a wall with the little hole cut in the wall for the phone to sit in there. It was just an old house, but it was well built, and there was 6 acres of ground with it. And so we ended up, getting a loan. And then when it came down to finalizing the loan, we realized that we needed a good amount of money for a down payment. And so we didn't have what they were, expecting. And we were just trying to, we were just crying out to God, Jesus, show us how to do this. Please, Jesus, we need your help. And, he did. He showed us exactly how to do it. We got the down payment. The loan went through. And the day of the closing, I called our pastors when we were on the way over to the house. And they said, "Oh, we're right here in the neighborhood. We'll just come by." So when they came in, let me back up a second there. We were planning on remodeling the house just a little bit at a time. And so we were going to do a little bit now, a little bit later, and so on. And then when they came in, they said, "Oh, we've got to do this now. We need to get, we need to get this remodeled now." And so I went and I used my Lowe's card and got enough drywall to cover all the knotty pine, to put over the ceiling, and they sent a text out, and everybody came. I mean, it was really incredible. Our yard was filled with supplies, paint, tile, toilets, everything. I mean, because everything was redone. And in 10 days, our entire house was transformed, way more than what we would have thought. And that's the love of God. That's the goodness of God. He is so faithful to us. He knew exactly what it needed to be done, and he took care of us at every point there. And let's go to Jeremiah 29, 11, 13. Well, let me, before I say that, we've really been being taught about hearing God's voice at every point. And so we've been crying out to God, Jesus, what's your will? For everything, whether it's, working or playing or, whatever, we're shopping, whatever. We just want to hear the voice of God so we can be in his will, and he can be in that place to tell us what we need to do and how to do it, and we can receive his blessings that way. And one of the scriptures is Jeremiah 29, 11, 13. It says, "For I know the thoughts and plans that I have for you, says the Lord. Thoughts and plans for welfare and peace, not for evil, to give you hope in your final outcome. Then you will call upon me, and you will come and pray to me, and I will hear and heed you. Then you will seek me, inquire for, and require me as your vital necessity, and find me when you search for me with all your heart." And, we had done some remodeling in the house that we bought, another house. We'd put hardwood in 2 of the rooms, and we had like 7 boxes left, and we were wanting to do our bedroom, and we really needed 6 more boxes. And I had called the people that we had got the hardwood from, and it was a liquidator warehouse. And when I called, they said they didn't have any left. It was all gone. I said, would you know where we might find some? He says, no, it's liquidated. There is none. And I sort of, oh, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. And I started searching everywhere. And I found some. It wasn't the same maker of the hardwood. It was another brand, but it was the same size and same color as far as the name. And I really didn't want to have to intermix it. But then when I looked at the price, it was like 5 times the price of the original. And I was like, Jesus, help us. We've got to have this. And, we weren't sure where to go. So I was still looking. And I came across that same website from the people that we had bought it from. And I saw that this hardwood was still listed on their website. So I clicked on it and nothing happened. And I clicked again, nothing happened. I thought, it must be out. And the Lord said, just email them and tell them exactly what you need. And so I did. And the next day they emailed me back and said, you're not going to believe this, but we have exactly 6 boxes. And I was just so grateful that I heard the voice of God and I obeyed. I paid for the hardwood right away. We went and got it the next day because we didn't want, something to happen to where it would be gone. But God did that for us. And he's one that made sure that there were 6 boxes, just what we needed. And, again, He provides every one of our needs all the time. He knows exactly what we need.
So God has always been so faithful, even as a very young child. Every time I cried out to Jesus, He answered my prayers. And in Hebrews 10, verse 35, it says, "Do not therefore fling away your fearless confidence, for it carries a great and glorious compensation of a reward. For you have need of steadfast patience and endurance, so that you may perform and fully accomplish the will of God, and receive and carry away and enjoy to the full what has been promised. But the just shall live by faith. My righteous servant shall live by his conviction respecting man's relationship to God and divine things, and holy fervor born of faith and conjoined with it. And if he draws back and shrinks in fear, my soul has no delight or pleasure in him. But our way is not that of those who draw back to eternal misery and are utterly destroyed, but we are of those who believe, who cleave to and trust in and rely on God through Jesus Christ the Messiah, and by faith preserve the soul." And so when I was younger, I went to a friend's house and they had this really beautiful bedroom suit, and I told my mom that I would really like to have it one day. And so we found out that they were not planning to sell it, so Mom said, "Just cry out to Jesus, He'll provide." And so for 5 years I cried out to Jesus, and He provided that bedroom suit. And we didn't realize it, but later on we found out the bedroom suit had been discontinued. So it was an absolute miracle. And my persistence and my faith, I had fearless confidence in Jesus, and I trusted Him till I saw it happen. And then in Luke 12:22, "And Jesus said to His disciples, 'Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious and troubled with cares about your life, as to what you will have to eat, or about your body, as to what you will have to wear. And do not seek by meditating and reasoning to inquire what you are to eat, what you are to drink, and nor be anxious, trouble-minded, unsettled, excited, worried, or in suspense. For all the pagan world is greedily seeking these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Only aim at and strive for and seek His kingdom, and all these things will be supplied to you also.'" So another situation came, and I was older at this point, and I was crying out to Jesus. We were in a smaller house, and I really had it in my heart that we needed a bigger house. So I started crying out to Jesus, and I wanted to live closer to some of my friends. And so I kept crying out to Jesus, and I didn't worry about it. I didn't get unsettled, and I just kept crying out to God. And house came open, and then the deal fell through. And so I kept crying out to Jesus, and doubts and wavering wanted to hit, but we kept persisting and crying out to Jesus. And within the next week, God provided a house that is way better than what we were going to get. I mean, it's so beautiful. We couldn't have asked for anything better. And then another situation, I had a tragic situation with my toe, and a desk fell on it and crushed it, and it almost had to be amputated. So I'll read this scripture. It says, "Truly I tell you, whoever says to this mountain to be lifted up and thrown into the sea, but does not doubt at all in his heart, but believes that what he says will take place, it will be done for him. For this reason I'm telling you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe, trust, and be confident that it is granted to you, and you will get it." And so through a series of events, the doctor said that if I did not pray, I would have no toenail the rest of my life. And so my persistence in my prayer, I believed that what God put in my heart was going to come to pass. And this might seem insignificant to you, but it was big to me. And so I cried out every single night till God came through, and He supplied the very littlest thing, a toenail on my toe. And Jesus is real to me, and I trust Him like that because He's been so faithful to me. And then James 1:17 says, every good gift and every perfect, free, large, full gift is from above. It comes down from the Father of all, who gives light, in the shining of whom there can be no variation, rising or settling or shadow cast by his turning as an eclipse. And God is so faithful to us, and we cannot doubt him. And we have to be so grateful for everything he's done for us. And when we have perseverance and mix that with faith and prayer, he comes through every time, and he hears and answers our prayers.
That's exactly right. And we want to be mindful to be grateful all the time. I want to read scripture in Hebrews 11, verse 8. This scripture says, urged on by faith, this is talking about Abraham. Urged on by faith, Abraham, when he was called, obeyed and went forth to a place which he was destined to receive as an inheritance. And he went, although he did not know or trouble his mind about where he was to go. And that is very key. He did not trouble his mind. I was in a job situation where I was able to be a teacher assistant in a school and work with young children, and I just absolutely loved it. So I worked for half a year, and then I worked through another full year, and then I got called into a meeting in administration and was told because of finances, because of their redoing their budget, I was no longer going to have a job. So it can be devastating. One day you have a job, one day you don't. So I knew at that point in time I needed to work. We needed that second income coming in. And I just trusted Jesus. I said, Jesus, I know you have a hold of me. I know you have a hold of my life. I know you've always provided for our family, and I know you're not going to fail us now. So I just kept crying out, and I was doing whatever I could in the meantime. I was painting some to try to bring in some income. And in the middle of a painting job, God spoke to me and said, I want you to call this person who is a friend of mine, and I want you to ask them about a job. I want you to check with them to see if they have a job for you. Just call them and see what they have to say. So of course, immediately the devil comes. You don't need to call them. I was determined in my heart. I made the choice right then. I'm not listening to you, devil. I'm going to obey and follow through with what God told me to do. So I called them, and I did not get them right then. They called me back, and I told them what I was calling about, what had happened to me, and they said, I do need someone to come and work for me now. I've got someone that's going to be leaving, doing something else, and I need someone to fill that spot. So it was perfect. And it's actually the job that I still have today. I work for an attorney's office, and I get the chance to talk to people on the phone all day long, help them, see how we can do anything we can to make things better for them. And I love that. So, and I know in my heart that is the will of God for me. I am in God's will. So I want to read another scripture in Matthew 7, and it says, ask and keep on asking, and it will be given to you. Seek and keep on seeking, and you will find. Knock and keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who keeps on asking receives, and he who keeps on seeking finds. And to him who keeps on knocking it will be opened. Or what man is there among you, if his son asks for bread, will instead give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will instead give him a snake? If you then, evil, sinful by nature as you are, know how to give good and advantageous gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven, perfect as he is, give what is good and advantageous to those who keep on asking him? And that's so true. We can go to God. We can ask him for whatever we need, and we trust him with our lives. I wanted to share just a little bit about the house that we're in now. It was truly a miracle for us to be able to get this house, and all of us had cried out for this. But there came more obstacles even after we found out that this was a house God wanted us to get, even with the financing, with doing everything that needed to be done so that we could get it. We couldn't just drop everything and stop believing God there. But it really taught me how to persevere with my faith, to keep on asking, to keep on coming to Jesus with every little thing. Because the devil was right there at my mind. And I'm sure others, different ones of us too, saying, this is just not going to work out. You're never going to get it. This is just not going to happen. But God taught me to keep on asking, keep on knocking, keep on coming to him. And that's what I did. And we saw the miracle. We saw God bring it to pass. What God says, he will bring to pass. And we've learned that in our life. So I want to read a scripture in Galatians 6, verse 9. This scripture says, Let us not grow weary or become discouraged in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap if we do not give in. And we cannot give in. When God puts something in our heart, we have got to keep on persevering and believing in him until we see it come to pass. We had a large SUV we were driving. Gas prices had gone up really high. We needed to get a different vehicle. We were believing God for a hybrid van. It looked like there was impossible. None was out there. So Rich found a car dealership that wanted to buy it. They came one day, bought our van that morning, actually came to where I was, picked the SUV up. And that night before, Rich had sent out an email to a car dealership about a van. That very same day, our SUV was picked up. They called us about the van. We have it still available if you would like to see it. God worked out all the details. I was able to leave work that afternoon, go to the car dealership where the van was, and by that night, I drove it off the lot and brought it home. These vans were impossible at the time, it seemed like, to find, because people were wanting these because of the gas prices and all that. But God worked it out. He did an absolute miracle for us. So we can trust him with our lives. Everything he puts in our hearts, if it's his will, we're going to see it happen.
So I'd like to share about the goodness of God in my life and just kind of go through my life and tell you some examples about how God's been so good to me. So the devil actually tried to kill me before I was born, and when I was born there were a lot of complications, and then I got very sick right after I was born. But God brought me through, and he had a call on my life, and he gave my parents the grace and healed me as well. And then when I was 5, my parents started noticing that I was having serious trouble seeing, and my eyes were crossing. And God gave me a doctor here in town that knew exactly what was going on. And when I was 6, I had to have surgery to fix the problem. But the real miracle here is when someone has surgery to fix lazy eye, most of the time, about 90% of the time, they have no depth perception after the surgery because the muscles on the inside of the eye are cut. And God blessed me with normal depth perception after my surgery. And that's really a miracle because it very rarely happens. And then not too long after that, I was about 10 or 11, and I really wanted a dog. But where we were living at the time, the folks we were living with could not have a dog inside the house. So I just kept praying on it, and about 5 or 6 years later, or actually 6 or 7 years later, right before I graduated high school, God blessed me with a dog. And I had a picture of a puppy, a chocolate Labradoodle with a white spot, on my computer. And God blessed me with a dog that looked just like the picture. And then about 2 years later, when my sister graduated high school, we got another dog. And I love those dogs with all my heart. And then in 2020, when the pandemic came around, I had graduated high school, and I was used to spending a lot of time with my friends, but that wasn't possible then because we lived farther apart, and it just became more of a problem. And so it was on my heart to live in the neighborhood that they lived in. And so I just prayed about it, and like my sister said, things happened, things fell through, but I just kept trusting God because I knew it was the will of God. So finally a house came available and we got it, and I lived next door to some of my closest friends and just down the street from the rest of them. So God really provided for that too. And then after high school, I was really crying out to God for His will for my life, and I haven't heard exactly what my career is going to be, but did I did hear that I was to work with my dad. And when I was little, my dad managed apartments. He managed several apartment complexes, and he wasn't able to be home because of the workload. And so I always prayed that I could be with him, and now I get to work with him every single day. And then after high school, I also cried out to God that I could still spend time with my friends, because throughout high school, we had gone and helped in the community and helped people with remodeling projects and stuff like that. And I did not want to have to work every single day of the week at a job and never be able to spend time with them. So God provided for that too. Since I work with my dad, I can work part-time and then have 1 or 2 days in the week that I can help my friends out. So God has provided for me in every area of my life, in every aspect, and I'm just so blessed. And I'd like to read some scriptures about the faithfulness of God and how we can be faithful to Him and be grateful. If you'll go to 1 Chronicles 28, verse 9, this is when David was talking to Solomon and preparing him for being king. It says, "And you, Solomon, my son, know the God of your father, have personal knowledge of Him, and be acquainted with and understand Him. Appreciate, heed, and cherish Him, and serve Him with a blameless heart and a willing mind. For the Lord searches all hearts and minds and understands all the wanderings of the thoughts. If you seek Him, inquiring for and of Him, and requiring Him as your first and vital necessity, you will find Him. But if you forsake Him, He will cast you off forever." And the key is here, if you seek Him, inquiring and requiring of Him as your first and vital necessity. And God has to be a necessity in our lives. And if we're faithful to keep Him as a necessity, He'll be faithful to us, and He'll protect us and keep us out of harm's way and bless us. But if we forsake Him, His judgment will come on us. Then if you'll go with me to 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 24. It says, "Faithful is He who is calling you to Himself, and utterly trustworthy, and He will also do it, fulfill His call by hallowing and keeping you." And God will keep us, and He'll protect us, and He'll give us His grace when we're faithful to Him. But like I said, if we're not, then His judgment's going to come on us. And then if you'll go to Psalms 31, verse 23. It says, "O love the Lord, all you His saints. The Lord preserves the faithful and plentifully pays back him who deals haughtily." And this scripture also goes to show that God will be there for us if we're faithful to Him. He'll be there for us whether the times are good or bad, and He'll have blessings for us. But if we're haughty and we think we know better than God, and we think we can do something apart from Him, then His judgment's going to be on us. And then if you go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 1, "If you will listen diligently to the voice of the Lord your God, being watchful to do all His commandments, which I command you this day, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you if you heed the voice of the Lord your God." And God will bless us if we heed His voice. But in verse 15 it says if we don't heed His voice, His curses will come on us. So we want to be very grateful every time God does something for us. And we want to sing you a song now about giving thanks to God and being grateful to Him.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks unto the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks unto the Holy One. Give
Just like the song says about giving thanks, we want to be sure to give thanks to God in everything. You can join us for these radio programs Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8:30 to 9 on WCAB. And you can go back to our website and see other programs. Thank you so much for joining us today.
The music's on us on WCAB.
From ABC News,